Yo, what's up? Welcome back, everybody, to another episode here of the JW Show. I am the kid JW here. And of course, if you're wondering why I'm all decked out in Lions gear, it's because the draft was here. And I'm recording this while watching the draft. By the time you guys will see it, it'll be a whole new week. But I'm still living in my spirit here because the draft was just an amazing experience. Being around the people and just being out and about with fans, not only from my city, but different cities as well, too. So that is why we are here today. Now, jumping on into it here in this topic is communication. We're digging into it as, let's see, it is the issues with communication in relationships. The issues in relationships when it comes to communication is the fact that a lot of times the ideas of what we want to say come off as either too aggressive or degrading. And I can say that because I know me personally, sometimes when I have an issue or something or a concern, I know a lot of times it does come off as a bit not really aggressive, but sometimes condescending. And I'm human. I look at myself all the time and I always try to better myself because part of being an adult is constantly looking at yourself and improving your flaws to become a better person. You're always changing to become better. And with that, I think the issues that lay in relationships are, like I said, the one, egos, because everyone has an ego and whatnot. Sometimes people don't want to bend or retreat a little bit or give a little to get to the common good. While other times there's the language. And what I've learned is it's not how you say something, it's how you say something. And what I mean by that is you can easily say something like, hey, I don't like you hanging out with that person. I don't want you being friends with that person. And you may not mean it in an aggressive, controlling way, but the way you said it could be something that comes off as, yo, this is kind of, I don't really like how you saying that. So it's all your tone. It's the tone of your voice that makes it a problem. And when in a relationship, you got to take in account how your partner may react to it. So if your partner has come from a relationship where there was always arguments, there was physical abuse or whatever, domestics, and they may not respond well to how you are, even though you may not mean it in an aggressive, degrading, and abusive way. You may just be the type of person who, hey, has a certain tone about you, but they may not respond well, and that could cause issues. Also, the issues in communications, also is listening, because communication is not about hearing and speaking. It's not about just speaking, but it's also about hearing and listening. So you can communicate to somebody about something, but if you're not listening and understanding what they're saying, and you're just hell bent on your own mindset and thought processes, you're gonna clash heads. You're gonna bump heads, and it's gonna be a tussle. So one of the issues there is, hey, communication. You gotta listen. You gotta hear. Because it's one thing to listen and have it go in one ear and out the other, but it's another thing for you to actually listen and hear it and understand what they're saying and see it from their point of view plus your own point. Because that way you guys both can come to the table and be like, hey, I understand what you meant by this, but I feel like, hey, can we try doing it this way too? And when you have that healthy dialogue there, that mutual respect for each other, communication can be very good between y'all. Another issue with communication is the fact that sometimes there's too many people in the kitchen. A lot of times people, they have everybody in their ear. They may have their family. They may have their mom, their dad, their cousins, their aunties, whoever. They may have their family in their ear, their friends in their ear. And then they're also trying to figure out something. So that's a lot of information that they're trying to decipher, and they can't make a decision. So they're struggling to make that. And by them not being able to come to a decision or open up, that makes that partner upset and irritated. So then that has another issue right there because it's too many people in the kitchen and they can't communicate how they feel because they got a lot of stuff going on in their head. Which is going to bring me to my next topic at some point, about how to, the less information you have, sometimes the better it can be. That's another topic for another day. Lastly, communication above all should always be straight to the point. Not only straight to the point with the communication, but also respectful. If you disagree with something, be respectful about it. Say, hey, especially if it's something you don't really rock with, disagree respectfully. Be like, hey, baby, I don't really agree with you on that, but hey, let me take a step back, see where you're coming from. Let me put myself in your shoes, and maybe I can understand it and then go from there. That's something that I would always say to people. Just sometimes take a step back. It's okay to disagree. It's also okay to disagree, put yourself in their shoes, and then come back and be like, hey, you know what? I see it from your way. I was wrong. And boom. That way you still got that clear line of communication. You're respectful along there, and you're not arguing. You're not raising your voice. You're not causing any issues. A lot of issues can be resolved if you just watch your tone, listen, hear, discuss like an adult, and be respectful. So that way you don't have to worry about having arguments and y'all going to bed angry, or you hanging up on them, they're hanging up on you, and y'all beefing out for a few days. Nah, because if that's your day one, you ain't gonna do that. You go sit there and have a heart-to-heart conversation. You go say your piece, your partner's go say their piece. Y'all go talk about it, hug it out, make up, whatever. But above all, respect each other when you're having different views, because as a relationship goes, you're going to have different views. You're not going to see eye to eye on things. They may be friends with people that you may not rock with. That's life. But hey, as long as you respect your partner, you communicate that, and they understand where you're coming from, and they try to show you, hey, that you don't have nothing to worry about, and they communicate all of that, you good. All right? Let me know your thoughts in relationships, and let me know actually what some other issues are, because I feel like I kind of got most of them, like the tone, the body language, and whatnot. I feel like those are the main two things. But if you find some issues in the relationships, as far as communicating, drop them in the comments below. Let me know what you guys think. And as always, see y'all next time.